What's up, guys? I'm Josh Pate. That's Steve Wiltfong. Wall-to-wall recruiting today on the weekly Wiltfong Recruiting Whiparound. Steve, I got a huge name I got to throw at you because we got a really, really big announcement coming up. 3 overall. That's where Travis Shaw is ranked in the 24/7 Sports Player Composite, bona fide 5-star in every sense of the word. And he's got an announcement coming up on August 21st. What can you tell us about where things stand?
Yeah, so Travis is going into his announcement next Saturday night with his finalists: Georgia, North Carolina, Clemson, and North Carolina A&T. And as things stand now, my 24/7 Sports crystal ball is with the Tar Heels. I think that this recruitment starts with the effort that Tim Cross and Lonnie Galloway have put in on this for the in-state Tar Heels. I think that there is a major comfort level with those guys. On one of his visits to Chapel Hill this summer, Travis Shaw brought a ton of family with him. I always think that that's a nice indicator of where a school stands when you bring a tremendous amount of family, and he did that as well. Now, I was getting a lot of smoke this summer that this was a North Carolina Georgia battle, and as the decision draws near, I'm not feeling as much confidence about Georgia's position. Now, Clemson did get a late visit from Travis Shaw as well. So while I maybe had them third a month ago, you never can count them out, especially when they get a late visit. But I like where North Carolina stands for what would be another extremely pivotal recruit for Mack Brown and his staff. They've recruited 2 straight top 25 classes. They've recruited the defensive line as well as any program in the country. I really mean that. When you look at what they were able to go out last cycle and do and get guys like Keyshawn Silver and Jabari Ritzie, and the year before getting Des Evans and Kedrick Bingley Jones, those guys are difference makers in any program. None of those guys ranked as high as Travis Shaw. That's how big a recruiting pickup that would be for North Carolina as they try and go from a New Year's Six program to a program making the college football playoff every year. We know they're stacking quarterbacks. They're trying to stack more defensive linemen, and Travis Shaw would be a major haul. And I like where the Tar Heels stand right now.
Oklahoma's also in that conversation, not with Shaw, but in that conversation about going from New Year's Six to a bona fide playoff contender. And they're already there, Steve. But when you talk to a bunch of people around the country, you know, we've got Brandon Ennis coming up, for example. He's going to make a commitment soon. And Oklahoma's squarely in the mix here. They got a lot of crystal ball momentum. A lot of people think Lincoln Riley, as a head coach, has almost, if not already, taken the pole position as one of the best head coach recruiters in America when it comes to building relationships. So take this anywhere you want to, maybe the Ennis recruitment, maybe what you hear about Lincoln Riley overall. But what are your thoughts about his evolution as a head coach recruiter?
Well, I think when Lincoln Riley took over for Bob Stoops, he set the tone quickly for what kind of recruiter he was going to be. He spent the first 2 days on the job just calling prospects and solidifying his relationship with key guys on the board. And he's been in the middle of it with all their top targets on both sides of the ball. He's just extremely personable. Prospects really feel like they can relate to him. And then obviously, if you play offense, particularly quarterback, you certainly will love what you've seen from him from that production standpoint. I think he's had top 3 offenses for the last 5 years. So they're annually in the top 10 offensively. But beyond just the coaching, he really humanizes the recruiting process. And I don't know if there's a head coach in the country that's more involved with recruiting kids from a personal standpoint than Lincoln Riley, and it's really paying off. I mean, I think you've seen Oklahoma go from the Big 12 power to a team that could potentially win a playoff game. So they're coming into this season, and people are picking them to win the national championship. And a lot of that has to do with the growth that they've had on the defensive side of the ball under Alex Grinch, going from him taking over a defense that was in the 100s nationally his first year to in the 30s now. Oklahoma just signing their best defensive haul that I've seen in 24/7 Sports history, going back to 2010 last year with Coach Riley having a major part in that. And then you look beyond. They have the number 7 recruiting class in 2022. They're off and running in 2023. They sit at number one, including five-star quarterback Malachi Nelson, arguably the top player at the position nationally. Makai Lemon, a 6 foot, 180-pound receiver of Nelson's at Los Alamitos, another five-star, arguably the top receiver in the country. Trayon Webb, a top 3 running back. Luke Haas, the number 1 tight end in the country, in the top 247. And then you got Brandon Innes. He's the number 1 receiver in the top 247 and the 24/7 Sports Composite. He's going to announce his decision on CBS Sports HQ. That is coming on August 22nd, a day after Travis Shaw. The Sooners are trending on the crystal ball, including my forecast, and I think it has a lot to do with Lincoln Riley, of course, the relationship with Dennis Simmons and his production and development of a lot of these receivers that have come out recently, and the explosive offense, and just the rapport he has with the coaching staff and the players on the team. Oklahoma's created such a welcoming environment. Recruits are buying in at an all-time high, in my opinion.
You mentioned that announcement coming up, as well as Travis Shaw's on CBS Sports HQ, but that's just a fraction of the list, Steve. We got several more announcements coming up. So quickly as we wrap here, give me some things and some recruitments and announcements you're looking forward to.
Yeah, man. So on Sunday, August 15th, so this coming Sunday at 4 o'clock, you can see top 247 defensive back Aiden Schuler out of Irvington, New Jersey, announced his decision. The finalists are Notre Dame, Penn State, Maryland, Boston College, and Cincinnati for the 4-star. Notre Dame trending on the crystal ball. The Irish and Brian Kelly, they have the number 2 class in the country right now in 2022. They're off and running in 2023 at number 5. Schuler, who they had work out, would be another big time pickup for them. And I like where it's headed for the Irish. Then you have in the class of 2023 as well, next Wednesday, August 18th, we're going international on CBS Sports HQ, Josh. I tried to get you there on the scene, but they would not send you to Sweden. It was so close. But Theodore Orstrom, a 4-star tight end, is going to announce his decision. His finalists are Texas A&M, LSU, and Ohio State. And the crystal ball is on the Aggies. James Coley doing a great job leading the charge for Texas A&M there, and the pedigree that they've shown at the position recently in 2 visits to College Station this summer. I think it put the SEC program in Texas, currently the one in Texas in prime position. And then you got Trey Donaldson, a terrific 2-sport athlete from Florida, announcing next Thursday on August 19th. Auburn starting the trend on the 24/7 Sports crystal ball for him. Sterling Lane is announcing on Friday, August 20th, a 4-star linebacker from Oaks Christian, with Arizona, Colorado, Michigan, Oregon, and Oregon State as the finalists. Jed Fish, he's quietly putting together a really good class in his first year in Tucson, and I think that Sterling Lane ends up joining. That's a top 3 class in the Pac-12 right now. We talked Travis Shaw. We talked Brandon Innes. We're going to talk a lot more in the future next week on the Whiparound about more relevant storylines.
Busy week. Your boy can't make the international trips because, of course, several international foundations have protested my travel visa. Looking forward to it nonetheless. That's a wrap for this week's Wiltfong Whiparound. He's Steve Wiltfong. Catch a whole lot more on 247sports.com. We'll catch you later.